Howdy ho again, everyone. Today we're checking out a game called Fill Up the Hole. This is a clicker game with a striking minimalist art style that blends city building and colony management into what I would consider a very satisfying sort of idle game that reminds me a bit of Lemmings. It's kind of like watching your own personal anthill grow. Anyway, we're going to start out right here, just see what a new game looks like. I've already played one game through pretty much where I just got the hang of the basics, but the goal of our lives in Fill Up the Hole is to put trash into a hole and make money. So, earn money for polluting. Press the info button under the portal to create a peon who can help. So we are going to create our first peon. We have nothing right now. We have $0, but the first one costs no money. Get a new peon. Peon can do different tasks and throw trash in the hole. So these are our workers right here. All we can really do here is manage the buildings around us and kind of watch our peons do the work. So it's just one guy. He's throwing trash in. He's thrown one in for $2, now two for $4. So he gets $2 per piece of white trash thrown in. Now, there is more trash out there. There's also just a giant rock on the other side, and there's another rock over here somewhere in the distance. But we're going to go ahead and build something right now. We've got enough money for a house. All right, so let's give our guy a house, so that increases our amount of peons that we can live here, or have live here. So now I've got another $5, so we'll spend another $5 on another peon. So already our productivity has doubled. Incredible. Now, we don't need anyone working inside of the houses. They just live in the houses. But this first one can house up to, I guess, 3, because the first one was just a homeless peon. But here we go. So trash is just sort of... Actually, where is our first trash coming from? Do we even have a source of our trash? Well, the peons will be creating trash from their homes, because naturally, if you live in a house, you create trash. So there is trash coming out of there. Thank God, because we were running out of trash to throw out. Anyway, where are we now? We've got $17. There's a lot more trash in this hole. And we need to do more. That is the law of Fill Up the Hole. So we're going to naturally increase the size of our house, thereby creating, well, probably more trash, because more people will live in the house. Has anyone gone back to live in the house? Well, let's create more people so that they can live their stupid lives in the house. There goes another guy. He's sitting in there in pure stupidity. And are we actually getting more for that trash? Sometimes you do get slightly more, like, dense trash. It looks like we've already run out of trash. Well, we're going to need to build, that's right, a factory in a moment when we get another $1 from the last piece of litter we've thrown away. Now, the factory will produce more trash by making peons work. I love just the performance art of this game. All that a factory produces is just trash. It is what it is. It is a dark message. I hope it gets better for us. Anyway, there are other sorts of buildings we can build. We're going to start having to expand our civilization, and there will be roadblocks as we go. Anyway, right now, where are we at? $9. We could still get one more peon, but we're not really creating enough trash right now. Let's assign somebody to work in the factory and produce trash. Right, so great, we have produced just out of the smokestacks, go trash. And now more of our peons are not idle. Fantastic. Anyway, let's get another one. We'll max out our population. And then, of course, it's going to be time to expand the factory. Now, we could get a... There will be more to this. It's not just this. The game does get more exciting, I swear. It actually gets really interesting, but this is the very simple start. Anyway, that is to say, it's almost time to expand our factory, but there is a bit of waiting here at the beginning, so it's just sort of like filling up the hole. Now, eventually, if we do reach the max capacity, some of the trash gets kind of, like, burned away or what have you. But anyway, we've got $34 now. This trash isn't going to produce itself. We are going to expand our factory so that it can produce even more trash. Now, it looks like just about everyone is busy. But there are ways to, like, upgrade your peons. So, for example, we can make it so that they could walk faster or so that they can carry more items. Oh, good. It looks like ink is producing... more trash. I guess just like Ink LLC or what have you, but each building has these meters on it, so I guess it explodes out trash when it gets to the top there, but yeah, like see how this thing is slowly rising. Before there was just so much trash, just so much of it to throw out. Anyway, we will start to produce more trash from our homes if we increase those levels too, but I think, let's get another factory level because I don't think we're producing enough trash here. Yeah, there we go. They just produced a lot. Here we go. All right, so now we can get a second person working in there, which of course we're going to need more population because we've got 2 people working at, I don't even know what to call this place. I guess just like Inc. LLC. Incorporated LLC. What do we produce? Trash. And when we throw it out, we make money. American civilization. Amazing. So here we go. We've got $14. 19. We're producing more peons. Amazing. Anyway, we've got like what I wanted to say about this game is it is like while we're waiting here until we get some of the more like basic upgrades, which they will get kind of crazier. We can build a catapult in a moment, but I'm wondering if it's even worth it. Let's just get our max peons. It is in essence one of those kind of number go bigger games, but it is only $2.99 on Steam right now. So I figure these types of clicker games, very entertaining, very satisfying, but for a limited number of playthroughs. I was perfectly mesmerized after about 2 hours, but neither here nor there. Anyway, we've got the possibility of a catapult right here, but I don't even think I'm going to build the catapult yet because I want to expand my population because I know what's about to happen once we hit that number 200 of filling up the hole. So here we go. We will get a catapult, though, in good time. So now it's time for an earthquake. Everyone is like, what is going on? They do have different happiness levels. You might notice this one isn't as happy as the others, so... Well, hope it gets better for him. Anyway, we're going to do an earthquake here, so this is going to reset. It's sort of like a prestige. And we get a blue shard for all that. Now, a blue shard is going to be useful later on when we get our unlock trees, but it's very, very heavy and it takes a long time to get over. Anyway, our buildings are all destroyed, but now, look, we got refunded some money for them. I'm thinking if we start out this time, we probably want our factory really close to the edge right here, because that's going to be producing a lot of trash, right? So let's put in a factory. Where are all of our workers over here? Okay, there they are. Fine. 1,200 we need to fill. Anyway, we've got space for only 1 worker, but we've got we've got 12 of them now. Some of them are looking very upset. Will they actually jump into the hole? I think they will, so let's go ahead and build them some housing before they do that. That would be terrible. So some of them are getting just slightly happier, but this guy really looks like he just might do it. And they look like they're getting slightly happier by the second, so that is good, because that was quite terrible. Anyway, we've got that 1 blue unlock now, the beginning. So we're going to unlock the upgrade tree. Now, as we play, we will start to unlock these shards, which will allow us to raise the number of factories, raise the number of houses, number of catapults, and then also to start mining a rock nearby so that we can expand our property. And also the game becomes slightly more interactive as we can click on these clouds over here to produce more trash. Now we can wait until those get over the pit so that they just automatically go in. That is a possibility, but yeah, these are some things we can do. Anyway, let's go ahead and get more housing space though, so that our peons are happier. And they'll walk faster and just generally be in a better mood. Some of them are smiling, but some of them are still looking just neutral and others purely upset. I hope it gets better for them, but you never know. Maybe it just won't. Anyway, we will probably build a catapult in a moment here, just so that they have a little bit more space closer to the edge, because it looks like we've somehow got trash over there. Now, we've got a quest that can be completed. It says... Moneymaker, earn $1,000. So we are rewarded $100 for that. Amazing. And we have a lot of other quests here too, like manually destroy 10 clouds. So that's why I'm doing some of these things. But yeah, generally speaking, over the course of the game, we'll start to fill these out, and it is, again, quite satisfying. Let's go ahead and continue expanding our housing. Maybe our... Can we? No, we can't do that. All right, I guess time for a catapult. The catapult is looking pretty cheap now. And what they can start to do is bring things over to the catapult. So if trash is closer to this side than it is to the edge, we can just sort of bring it to a catapult, which will push it all toward the edge. And eventually, there will just be this waterfall of trash going over, but it is quite spectacular to behold. Anyway, we're going to assign somebody to mining out the rock now. So this guy is looking okay in general, but he's going to just create trash out of the rock. Now, eventually, if the trash piles up above the rock, he won't be able to mine anymore. So we're going to try to get all that trash out of there. God, this game's premise is so... Anyway, sorry, just suspending my disbelief for later. I'll leave my existential crisis for later on in the video. Peon drop, allow or prevent outside peon from dropping trash. Yeah, we'll allow it, of course. Here we go. I believe that's highlighted on what it does because it just seems to be working there. Anyway, we've bought another level for our catapult, so now we have 2 of them. And they're each hurling, what is that, like 2 or 3 trash each time it's ready to fire. Amazing. And some of that trash is even higher density. So now you see we've got, well, there's a whole load of stuff going on. It is becoming, like, already just too much to behold. Let's get more peons, though. I need to manually get rid of some more of these clouds because it is my task. It is my only designated task in life. Oh man, there is a lot happening. More than I maybe even know what to do with all this money, but we will try to keep just buying the peons because they do persist from earthquake to earthquake. So you do get some conversion here. It looks like that building just lost durability. That's terrible. Oh no. There are buildings that we can unlock in the future that will keep the durability. It looks like this strong man has got this yellow shard in his hands, and that will allow us to unlock further upgrades, which, well, we are going to need to expand our buildings and infrastructure because it looks like this guy who's mining out the rock is beginning to get just trash pile up all around him. We need to mine out another one. There's another one available, and we are going to be able to expand all the way back here. Yes, that is a lot of room. There is a lot to be done in this game, and it can become quite overwhelming by the time we're done. Anyway, we don't actually have any more capacity for more buildings, so we need to either unlock these or something else. I didn't actually see this the first time I played the game, and I was like, well, that's stupid, until I learned about the upgrade tree, which is somewhat hidden up here. Anyway, have we finished any other quests? It does say that I have an unclaimed quest. What is this? The peons have thrown 500 trash. Okay, cool, so we get a yellow shard. Alright, so we want to start taking a look at what we can get with our upgrades. Is that going to... Whoops, did I just... No, I didn't automatically spend, whatever. Plus 1 yellow shard when rock is destroyed. That would be nice if we get more yellow shards for that, but can we... I kind of want to improve my rock mining. More houses is always good. Let's get more for our rock mining, and then maybe call it there for a minute. This rock still has 88% durability, but now we'll get 2 shards for each rock that we destroy. We'll try to help you out there in a minute. It's looking kind of crowded with trash over here, honestly. I hope it gets better for you, though. Alright, so we've got 18 out of 18. We're gonna need 680 to improve our houses. I mean, can we even get to the end of the amount of trash at Incorporated LLC? I think not. Anyway, we got another cloud here. Eventually, there's just gonna be so many clouds, it will be simply overwhelming. I won't even be able to click the clouds. You'll be very disappointed in me. Anyway, so we'll just keep increasing this, just because I want to keep all my upgrades persistent. Although, you know, I mean, like, if I can't house the peons fast enough, that will be grim for our living situation. But let's just see how efficient we can make it for right now. Efficiency. There is also the kind of like, I mean, is it time to get into this sad, dark, existential crisis of producing trash? Assume that they're producing something maybe useful. At least the peons are happy, after all. You know? Well, they can become upset and throw themselves over the edge, but... well, maybe there's a bunch of candy in the pit. You never know. Anyway, let's just continue and ignore that. We've got our buildings growing. Everything seems to be going swimmingly. Swimmingly, I think. But this is getting to be a very large pile of trash right nearby our rock. We may want to improve the efficiency of the catapult. Yeah, we gotta assign another worker there. Because, now, once again, like I said, if this gets completely covered in trash, then this guy simply can't mine over here. And we wouldn't want that to happen. No one wants that to happen, so we're going to just keep throwing trash over the edge. And how satisfying it is, just the pure serotonin rush of seeing all of those tiny little circles being thrown into the pit. Well, just you wait. Oh god, somebody's house was destroyed. Everyone is upset. Recall. Oh no, wait, stop working. It's fine not to work. Everyone will be upset. Oh no, we have simply too many people. One person will be homeless and upset. Oh, this reminds me of Ursula Le Guin's dystopian short story, The Ones Who Walked Away from Omelas. Anyway, it's time for me to destroy your homes again, so we're gonna have an earthquake. Oh no, all my cash actually gets refunded. I guess I should have put it into the money. or whatever it was. Has anyone thrown themselves over the... No, they haven't. All right, well, let's get that house underway right away. Somebody get to mining again. Everyone's going to be upset in just a couple of days. We'll build a house maybe right around... Well, the house does produce some pollution, so we want that pollution going in, of course. Anyway, all right, we've got most of you are happy and accounted for. All right, well, let's get that other factory. We need to get the trash from the factory. You need money to create the factory. You need the trash to make money. You need the money to make the factory, and it just goes in a circle. Phew. Anyway, so our goal keeps getting higher and higher, but of course we can kind of expand our means here. I'm going to keep building catapults right by our rock, just because it behooves us to get trash away from that rock itself, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's get another one of those. Now, only one of you is unhappy. Keep a close eye on the number of workers. Now, I didn't notice any of them throw themselves in the first time I played, but I'm pretty confident it did happen when they were unhappy for long enough. Now, there are some powers that we'll be able to use later on. Did we get another quest? We got an unclaimed quest. What did we do? 2 out of 2 blue shards that we got. We got, what did we get for that? Yellow shard for it. Okay, amazing. These are our quests. Okay, upgrades here. So 3 of these, we can also kind of... This tree can be kind of like dizzying. Plus 30 seconds to peon content. Content peons move at normal speed. Okay, so if they're unhappy, they'll stick around a little bit longer. They start getting research speed. Catapults. Houses. I really want to start to get these... mining, plus 1 max peon working at the rock. Yeah, that's what I need. Scaffolding built by it. Alright, it's going to be very expensive to do that, though. There's just so many choices to make. It's going to be dizzying, and you'll be very upset. Because look, this man is simply covered in trash now. We're going to need another person where... Actually, we don't even. Because look, now they're simply overwhelmed. So when this building gets overflow, bad things start to happen. So let's go ahead and increase the means of our catapult over there. We need these people... Not so much working at Incorporated, but more working at getting all this trash out of here. So they're making longer trips back. In a minute or two, we're going to need some training. Can we get some upgrades here? Research lab. Where is training? Training. Compressor, no. Bulldozer, no. Content, no. Waste, power. Throw plus. Okay, so we can allow the catapult... Oh, no, that's not what I was looking for. Cannon. Increase the level of the catapult. Also not exactly what I was looking for. Let's get research. In a moment here. Can I see... It's going to take me a minute. Well, there is a way that we can research so that we can have the peons start to carry more, but it may take me a moment to research it, because there is quite a lot to be done here. Anyway, let's just go ahead and house more peons here, because they are quite useful. Amazing. Okay, so good. They are being more efficient now. But yeah, eventually we'll have people carrying stacks of like 6, 7, even 8 things overhead. You won't even believe how many things these peons can carry when we train them properly. That's why I say it's more like lemmings, you know? It sort of feels like watching an ant colony whilst slowly upgrading it and kind of enjoying the results. Anyway, let's get a research lab up so that we can start to unlock more upgrades, because those will persist even after we fill the hole with lots of trash. Ooh, look at these strong men here carrying this trash out. Now, we do have, I guess, 2 more being assigned here. We have unlocked space for yet another rock so that 2 men can mine at it simply by standing there and doing nothing. Incredible. Now, we can force the rock to throw out more stuff, but now we are going to start to get research points here. RP. Here we go. So that's going to be useful for unlocking future upgrades, which everyone loves to see. We have another unclaimed quest. Is that the clouds one? A new building type. Amazing. Okay, cool. Did we get... No, I didn't get it there. Is that going to be under training? Training. Give me a moment here. Aha, I have discovered it. So content we can unlock, and then training. I'm going to need 1 more yellow shard for this, but it will give us a training center where we can have the peons start to unlock incredible new abilities like being faster and all kinds of stuff like that. Now, I could kind of redistribute some people out of here. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll take 1 out just because this guy looks pretty overwhelmed over here, but eventually I'll put him back on because we want to keep like the workflow relatively steady and not have too many bottlenecks. But I do think training goes quite a long way. And it is very satisfying to train your peons. I guess we could do it with, like, all buildings, but Hey, I mean, how about taking everyone and making them twice as efficient? Because right now our buildings are breaking down. God, this game just makes me think of all of the trash filling up in landfills. And... like, somewhat, like, bad about it, but at the same time, somewhat of a resignation, just due to the wasteful nature of the human spirit. We are who we are, though. We produce trash and we make money, and that's what we do, I suppose. I hope it gets better for us. Anyway, we've got 7 yellow shards, and that gives us yet another yellow shard. Manually destroy 10 clouds. Amazing. So now we can go over here to upgrades, and yes, training. Peon training. Oh no, something blew up. Let me not spend that money just yet. What was that? Catapult. Well, that's great because it was time to build another catapult further back anyway. But let's put a training facility in that space. So now we're going to turn it on. We'll have a worker assigned to it. And we're going to assign it to peon speed, because that's only 50 points, research points, that we need to get that. We'll assign another one there. And now people will walk faster, but eventually we'll... I mean, that's a pretty easy one to unlock, so we'll get them carrying capacity, because that one's a little bit easier to see as we go. Anyway, oh my goodness, that hole is filling up with so much trash, I can hardly even believe it. Well, there's another thing you could do. You could actually pick up trash individually and put it into the hole. So you can kind of do this on your own. Maybe there's a way to get more of it. I haven't unlocked that yet. I'll bet you, though, that there is. Man, there's not even anybody up to this. Let's just reassign that guy onto doing stuff until we even get up to this building. Maybe one onto the catapult as well? Because that's just so much. I just want to get more of this research done, though, man. Here, let's get another person assigned to this. We gotta reinvest into the infrastructure of the peons. Now, it does beg the question, like, is this one of those games where you should focus on upgrading only one thing and then that will cascade and reward all of your other industries and things like that? Or should you go for a more balanced approach? And my answer to that is yes. There is no one way to play, though. But I guess that's what gives it a little bit of replay value. Like, what if I had tried this strategy where I just trained all of my peons? Of course, probably a little bit of each item would have paid off, but... well, it is what it is. Plus 30 seconds to peon content. Okay, so they do last longer. I don't really need more space for more buildings. What I need now... scaffolding would improve the rock destruction over there. The rock destruction, what am I saying? No, I think we just need more housing. Is there... what can we do to get more housing? Where is my peon housing? Housing. Plus 1 maximum house. Is there anything that can kind of... can allow houses to produce trash in between cycles? Not exactly what I'm looking for. Max peon per house floor, 250 RP. Okay, we'll try to save up for this, because this doubles my housing capacity, and that's, of course, a great thing. But we're going to need quite a lot of it before we get there. Research lab. Well, it's pretty cheap here to do this. Let's get maybe a few more levels on that. How are we doing with the research? Okay, so we have got 10% faster. Let's give that a break now. We can improve our mining and our carrying capacity. I think let's do carrying capacity. So for each researcher, it produces, I guess, 1 research. Is it going to be maybe 4 or 5 now, though? 3, I suppose. Oh, well. All right, well, eventually we can produce like 10 per worker when we level it up enough. But yeah, right now our peons are carrying only 1 thing, and that's just not enough. That's not very strong. We need to get them better. 3 of these. I'm just trying to look ahead a little bit so that I... maximum power. We just don't have enough buildings to really invest in power yet. The compressor will be useful later on, again, I think. Max level of the catapult. I'm not even there yet. Oh god, something broke again. Research lab. Well, we do need one. I mean, it was nice having one. Get another one. Everything is just a disaster. There's also like kind of a funny sort of physics going on here. I've totally forgotten about my clouds. Items are like sort of sticky, that they kind of just stay in place. But I'm trying not to create any more work for them. Okay, so we are getting better trash. I'm pretty sure that the purple trash, now it's hard to exactly track how much each piece of trash is worth. But I'm pretty sure that the more like saturated and interesting colors are worth more money as they get thrown in. Because I've seen highly compressed trash that looks, it's like yellow and very saturated, kind of like a mustard color. Excuse me, kind of a mustard color. But yeah, there is a lot of it to be had. Anyway, 138 RP here. We are still not even up to this rock, just simply because we hardly even have the time, man. Are we at that number of shards yet? I think we could probably almost get this. No, 250. All right, let's get more people into research. I want to house more peons. Carry one. We're like almost there to carry two. All right, I've just got to give them a minute to work. All right, we have just reached like overflow on pretty much all of our buildings, so I have unassigned all of our peons from that just to take out the trash. So if you don't manage it right, terrible things happen and it ruins your life. So we can't even research right now simply because there's too much trash outside of the research facility, which is in and of itself sort of a political statement, honestly, that when there's too much trash, you can't do anything. You can't even walk outside your own front door. So be thankful for your garbage man, you know what I'm saying. But it is terrible. And maybe we should improve our catapult, honestly, because this stuff is closer to it. Yeah, it looks like that we just should... Let's take some of that money, some of those taxpayer dollars, and put them into the catapult industry, because we have to dig out our training facility, because these people are so weak and they can't even carry trash over the poor people, and they are terrible. Oh god, I've really held myself back in this playthrough. Although, you know, in the first playthrough, I didn't know that you could mine the rock, which was just really slow of me. It was very, very slow. We'll have another person go in there. All right, this is getting a little bit better. Maybe we could do something now. We could finally assign somebody to this. Here, get people into the training facilities. Who cares if we don't even have a factory? We're already getting enough trash from all of our other goddamn industries in here. Please, just somebody finish off this carrying research, man. All right, there we go. They should be done with that in a minute now. All right, through sheer effort, we have reached 253. Can focus building on top. Hang on a second. So I've got a couple of upgrades here. Although we can increase the floor space for our peons, so now we have space for 28 of them, which is pretty amazing. We're also going to upgrade our training facility now so that we can get to... We have now got to carry 2, so now look, each of our peons is carrying 2 pieces of trash. And these will persist from fill to fill. So that is all fine and well, but we're going to use all of this to hopefully... put ourselves into a better position when we eventually reset again, because each time you sort of like prestige, it is somewhat demoralizing to lose all of your old industry, but at the same time, like, you can rebuild it in a way that makes more sense for your increased capacities, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so I guess this is focus 1 building. I'm not actually sure how this control works yet. Oh wait, you can see them ahead of the trash. I prefer to see the trash in the way, because this game is all about trash, of course. Anyway, let's go ahead and keep on building peons, because we're just about there at the fill, and we've got maybe like 30 pieces of trash left to go. I can taste it. I can taste the trash. Oh, everyone is so confused and upset. I think I just might do it now. It's time for an earthquake, and everything is reset incredibly, but we still keep the trash from last time. The trash sticks around. Even after we're all long dead and gone, there will all still be our trash around. Remember, your primary legacy in this life is the trash that you leave behind. It will stay there forever. 90,000 pounds per person. Incredible. So now we have filled up our house. We are more space efficient at living in these tiny little New York City apartments, and we love it. And we pay property taxes, and it gets us nowhere. It just gets more trash in the landfill. Oh god, this is getting so depressing. Playing this was relaxing. Commentating it is a whole different beast, man. Alright, so what do we do now? We can't even see the rock. There's so much trash on it. We might as well not get involved in mining that thing yet. Let's go ahead and keep on improving. We want to keep training that carry. I still think we could do a lot better here. I mean, only 10% walking speed, but hey, if we improve our trash carrying, then that would improve our trash carrying by like 50%, so that is way better in my point of view. Anyway, at this point in the game, I sort of start to just randomly unlock things because look at the size of the upgrade tree, man. It is just baffling and huge. Whew. Anyway, I don't really have room for more factories, but I think scaffolding, we might be ready for scaffolding soon. Nah, we still aren't even really doing that. We do want to expand our size of everything though soon. Training, can we do anything else with training? It begs the question. +1 training point generated per peon. I think that's fine. Yeah, we could probably improve the training a lot. And then we'll think about these a little bit later on. I don't really want a second training facility yet. I think that might be kind of overkill. So yeah, let's not worry about that. All right, but our training facility is producing more training just the way I like it. We want to get these guys carrying 4, 5, 6 pieces of trash. How much research does it take to tell people to pick up more things? It begs the question. Anyway, let's see what we can do with just more housing here. I'm going to try to avoid building more factories until I really need extra trash. I just want to consolidate and see the way things are. I'm going to take a mental break and click on a cloud. Because this is all becoming too demanding on my smooth brain. Alright, so let's see, 191 now to 200. Oh, baby. Oh, man. We're generating 9 per cycle. I can hardly even believe it. We get a better rebate per peon in the building. I guess assign workers to train. I guess this is at the end? You can also destroy your buildings. You can kind of create a little bit of a rebate there, too. You can also get trash compactors, because this is becoming a lot right here. Or we can have the rock actually just throw away its own garbage, but I can hardly even think right now. There's just so much going on screen. 1995. Let's see. Catapult might be useful later on. The catapult probably way over here, just because this rock has got so much going on. But can we just have the rock throw its own trash? No, I mean, scaffolding is just kind of expensive. Let's get a catapult nearby there. We'll get 1 guy on that. Maybe even 2. Cool. All right, so get that trash out of there. Let's reassign people to mining the rock. We got to keep moving. Get out of the way. All right, good. They're producing more trash. Even without factories, I feel so proud of myself. But if I were to put a factory, I'd probably put it close to the front just because I want the trash near to the front so that they make shorter trips. And now you can hopefully start to see that this game is not just a clicker game. It is an automation efficiency management game. Which, by the time you get further on, it hardly even feels like a clicker game at all anymore. Like, I don't mean clicker game as a bad thing. I think that there are some extremely satisfying clicker games with just incredible value. I'm not... Like, that's not a judgment. It's just what it is, bro. Although, at the same time, I think we still have yet to come into the or we are maybe coming into the golden age of these clicker games. It seems as though every time I check out Steam, there's like 5, 10, 15 more. Look at these people throwing in 3 pieces of trash. How do you even do that with 2 hands? You, sir, there, you aren't as happy as the others. What's the matter with you? Do better. Smile more. Or else you'll be working in ink. Ink LLC. A corporation company. What does it even mean? I love this game's art. It really is beautiful. It's just a testament to what you could do with very few assets. Oh, man. They're not really even assets, just limited art. Anyway, we have this giant effigy of a peon being carved out of this rock that I guess gets unlocked once you beat the game. I have not beaten the game yet. I've gotten to level like 6 or 7 out of 8. I don't know if there's any more replay value. It is what it is. It's very good. What to do next? I would say the one thing is that if you play this game, and if you play it for maybe 20 minutes, the boredom might set in, but once you get to like 35 minutes, it becomes an entirely different game. Just a warning if you do try it out, because I got to that early part and I was like, well, what is there to do next? And then I discovered the prestige tree, and I was like, this is where the game is at. Plus 20% to peon walking speed. Oh, that's pretty amazing. Content peons will move at the same speed as happy peons. Well, I would like to get this. That's only, what, 250? Let's improve the Industries at Research Incorporated. Home of science, where the method of the scientific hypothesis is made and incredible discoveries are made, but it costs a lot of crap and they have to throw it out the windows every few days from all of that thinking. They're generating heat and thoughts in there. And that's what they call progress. Amazing. 135 RP. Oh, look, we've got all these yellow shards to spend. I can hardly even decide what to do with them. Let's start to get maybe... No, we still don't really have enough money for that. Eventually, we will start to just produce a ton of money. All right, it looks like we're basically keeping up with the trash now, though. Methinks that we've got only 12 people hauling, 16 working in industries and stuff like that. Methinks let's continue carry 4. It's just too expensive to upgrade this facility, though. They're already carrying 4, man. I mean, that's pretty good. We are making use of all of our building slots. Let's try upgrading the catapult. Oh, the catapult has already reached its maximum level. Woe is me. Well, let's get a cannon on top of it then, because it is pretty cool. All right, so here we go. We've got now, you thought we were done, but now there's a cannon. Does it actually have longer range? I don't know. Let's see. People are filling up the cannons. The cannon is shooting, what is that, 5? I think it's just the same. The catapult's fired at once. Now, I think that the strategy here is to just minimize the distances between the sources of the trash and the locations to which the peons can offload the trash and try to reduce the frictions therein, thereby putting in more trash whilst reducing the amount of walking required by the peons. And that is what they call efficiency. Maybe we could get more walking speed. I mean, it's so expensive to get a couple of these carrying. Now, and yet another carrying. Of course, we will get more carrying, because what would we do without it? What else would we do in this stupid world? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's that. Anyway, I think I'm going to try to see... We've got a couple of more resources here. Catch up in a moment with some progress. All right, we've just reached 250 RP, so note the speeds of the peons now, and we are going to buy permanent running, which is something that is universally desired by all. All right, let us maybe continue with scaffolding. Oh, cool, so we can build a scaffolding in front of the rock and increase the number of working peons by 1. So now we can start to improve the rock's efficiency, because really what we're trying to do is get more buildings, right? I mean, we want to make more space. We've got so many peons, but let's... Oh god, everyone's home is destroyed. Every now and then there's just a human rights... not even just a natural disaster. Well, it was caused by humans, presumably, from all the walking in front of the houses. Eventually, the foundations of the house were destroyed just because there was simply too much vibration going on over there. A tragedy. So we've enabled the scaffolding, increased the maximum number of workers. I've got 3 people pooping out trash from there. I think that's getting to be a lot. How much have we got left on the rock? 25%. I think we're going to need to improve the catapult nearby, because we simply can't have this. This is terrible. Look, we've got to get people coming, look, back and forth, but look at all that trash they're just getting through. Now, there are some more powers we can get. Is this pollution? Boulderbozer. What am I saying? Let's get a bulldozer. And what else can we get for blue? What is this? Every 2 minutes, compress all trash in the compressor and double its value. Amazing. I mean, I guess we don't really get another point for trash if it's compressed, but at the same time, we do get more money and it's somewhat more efficient in a way, so it is better, I guess. We'll unlock the compressor too, because why not? We'll get a... can we even get power yet? I don't even know where I'm at anymore. I can hardly even think. Oh, whoops, that was level 2 out of 5. Didn't even mean to do that. Whatever. Phew. How is Training Incorporated going? 6,485. I felt as though there was something I was just about to do and then I decided not to do it. 27. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, it's horrible. We could get a compressor here, though. I mean, the question is, do you get a compressor or a catapult? Let's experiment with the compressor, because why not? We haven't even done it yet. Oh, actually, I just totally did that wrong, but we're almost at the max limit anyway, so we'll be done with it in a second. So now people will sit inside of the compressor room, put it in there, and then they will poop out slightly more compressed trash. You gotta love it. That was our training facility we just lost. Oh, the horror. The absolute horror. Let's send more people in there. Well, we don't really have time for mining because the miners are simply overwhelmed. So this game is so weird, man. I love it, though. Where is the thing that we could get to actually throw the trash? With scaffolding, trash is thrown to the right. This is one of my favorite upgrades. So instead of them just pooping out trash right here, they will actually throw it toward the buildings so that they can keep on mining, and it's just slightly more efficient, and eventually you can kind of get them to, like, catapult trash into the hole. Beyond that, it just gets kind of stupid. Oh, cool, we've got the bulldozer upgrade. I totally forgot about this. So some guy just comes in with a bulldozer and collects everything, so now the industries can continue. It looks like some of it gets deleted, but most of it goes in, so it is quite efficient. And then watch what happens. Just he goes in there, too. Oh, it's awful. You will be remembered for a little while, until we forget about you. And we are continuing, once again, to just produce trash, completely forgetful of that bulldozer man's incredible sacrifice of his own life for the greater good. Is there anything else we could buy here? No, 15,000, plus one more working on the rock. Okay. We keep improving the output. 4 workers, medium trash when possible. Okay, that's fine. I need more, though, here. Let's see. Wait, do we have that research building? Yeah, let's just increase the efficiency of that. 217. Still just kind of going with carrying here. I think carrying is going to be the best use of our money and resources. 227. The only thing that I do wish were just a little bit more satisfying is the way that the trash goes down in the hole. You know, it hits only one side. Maybe if I had more catapults, I'd be able to put more in. Oh, look at this cloud. Now, the cloud trash here is a slightly different coloration, so I do believe that's worth more. So I think if you let the clouds combine, then they start to produce more valuable trash. Because look, that's just slightly pinkish, and that's kind of white. Yeah, that appears to be white. So I think the more clouds you allow, you know, combine, the more stuff it does, of course. Anyway, let's go ahead and start throwing the trash off to the side. Okay, it looks like they finished off that, so this is a better time to demonstrate the trash throwing. So we've got 3 people getting assigned here. 1. And he's just throwing it slightly off to the right now. Now we can start to buy more levels of this, which I believe is called farther. Is that the farther technology? No, we can't unlock it yet, but soon will we be able to, so that, in fact, as they mine out the trash, it gets thrown further off to the right. Because this may not seem like a lot, but eventually just get catapulted over this way. Which will then eventually interfere with all of your other buildings. And make everything just generally terrible. There's just so much here. It is so crazy, everything going on. I think it's time for another one. Yeah, absolutely. I said 28 people who are all, once again, homeless, of course. We will just continue on with our houses, and now we can... I just want to make sure everybody's housed. I don't want people throwing themselves in, but look at all that trash. Oh, it's so nice at the beginning of a new wave to just see it all go in. I want it to just be clear for a minute, you know? Stop that producing the trash. Let's just have it be clear for a minute. Maybe put a few people onto mining if you must. There we go. Oh god, they're making it pile up again. Now, what I'm thinking for this one is that we want to start to reformat our buildings. It's a good thing in Earthquake. You know, it cleans you out. Whoops, I didn't mean to do a catapult there. I meant to do a compressor. So what I'm thinking is that we compress the trash here, then we deposit it here, and then we put it into a catapult here. So that way, this stuff just gets thrown right over to the compressor. We'll assign somebody to that. Let's just get our basic layout first. The house is there. We have a factory here again. And then in the 2 spaces between, we have training and a research lab. How does that sound to you? I think that sounds... Actually, you know what? Reverse those. We need the research lab here and the training here. Better. Alright, just because the research lab produces... Isn't it more trash? Maybe I was mistaken on that. Maybe it doesn't. In which case, shame on me, I just destroyed 2 perfectly good buildings. God, I hardly even have time for these clouds anymore. Oh, hang on, those ones are about to disappear. You can see that more of the effigy of the peon is being mined out, and it is really nice. But anyway, like, I don't know, maybe there's something off about my strategy. Like, maybe you feel like you can do better. I always wonder, I mean, this is kind of one of those games where it's like, I recommend it. And then I hope that you go out and try the game. But, yeah, play it for yourself. It is fun. I don't know how it is to watch these, though, but I think that the replay value here, which, I mean, I still am having fun, and this is my second playthrough through. So, it must be said. I'm trying out new strategies, though, like, oh, hey, would this thing work? Kind of reminds me of one of those really good games you'd get on, like, one of those Flash websites, you know, from yesteryear, but we just don't really have anymore. So now they're, like, these incredible $3 experiences on Steam or whatever it is. It's incredible. Okay, amazing. We're compressing the trash. We're catapulting the trash. We're throwing the trash off to the side. We are even researching so that we can get better at all kinds of things you wouldn't expect. And we are about to be able to carry 5. Look at us go. Oh my gosh. Oh, yes. We are now carrying 5. Look at how strong we are. We hardly even have enough trash there for the seeing of. Look, we could even... Here, just throw it off. Get it off. We need to keep working. Amazing. What should even be done next with the incredible efficiency that we have achieved here in our most probable hard labor camp? Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I hope it gets better for us. Anyway, let's get another cannon so that we can get that out of there. We gotta keep mining. I mean, our primary industries are producing trash, mining, and just sitting at home. Doing nothing, sitting there in pure stupidity. I think we could probably do with a little bit more research, but I kind of want to look through the tree. I like the fact that the game keeps going on, even while you're on the research tree, you know what I'm saying? Alright. Whew. Jeez. I'm thinking that 750 for rock throw plus would be pretty nice. +1 to initial max peon. Well, that's pretty cheap now at our prices. Power building, so that buildings don't get blown up as easily, I believe, eventually. Excuse me. Bulldozer will produce more cloud. I don't think I want that. Oh my gosh, there's just so much to be said about this game. I don't really want more clouds. I don't even have time to click on them, honestly. +1 RP generated per worker. Now that would be pretty good. Oh, we can get even more of that. Yes, more research points. Please. Please. Are people even happy? More training points. Okay, that's pretty good. Alright, I'm satisfied with this. We are producing lots more training points and research points. Who could protest this? I think it's funny when the buildings just blow up. I don't even want to increase their durability. It's like an exciting thing. It gives me something to do. Alright, how are we? Actually, we're doing okay with this. Good, they just bring it straight over to the catapult. Do better. Produce even more. Alright, now we need 750 of that RP if we want to get any further, man. That's getting to be quite a lot. But you know, the more industries we have, the more people we have to take off of the simple task of simply hauling trash. The simple task of simply hauling trash. God, my verbiage is getting repetitive. Well, it is what the game is. You do the same thing over and over again. Although I will say, when I was in college, my roommate and I were doing homework, and we stopped because we found this online game that was just about clicking on boxes, and we couldn't put it down for an entire hour. But this game does that, and I don't know what it is, but it's very addicting, and I like it. While still feeling like a rich, pinky-up experience, you know? Cultured. Research lab. Alright, keep improving the research. Science, baby. 550 for another carry. Well, I guess 10% more speed. I don't know, does it equate? I still think that carrying more is just more efficient for them. I guess mining we could get better at, because, look, this is starting to get bad. The miners just always look upset. They're never happy over there in the mines. That's the worst job you don't want to be assigned. I guess we could just keep putting this. I still think it behooves us to click on the clouds either over the pit or nearby being over the pit, especially the bigger ones over the pit. That makes sense. Let's get more workers. Alright, we've got to save up some money again. In the midst of all that occurring, I forgot to claim all of my quests. I've just done so many things, gaining research points. I mean, we could compliment me for my accomplishments, but I think rewards will do better. Yes, I love it when people give me gifts for just being me and doing what I was already doing. Amazing. So let's go ahead and get more of those shards. Look at all of that crap we have got now. We can reuse all of that to get even more crap. I mean, buy a yellow shard. Okay, I guess that would give us, that would be nice. Is there anything in blue? Just because I feel as though the blue shards are the rarest. Convert blue shard into 3 yellow shards. Not really. Every 20 minutes timer on all abilities is reset. Oh, I almost forgot about my bulldozer. Let's use it again. So satisfying to watch that bulldozer. Mainly for the miners. I think they need it the most. Especially when we get all of that low value trash. Here we go. It's got more of that. Every 2 minutes, process all trash in catapult storage and double its value. That is quite nice. Every 2 minutes, compress all trash in the compressor. I mean, we're already kind of doing this. Every 5 minutes, all peons are set to full happiness. Okay, that is kind of nice. I think we do have an ability that does that, though, too, as well. +1 max peon working on the rock. Nah, I still want to keep throwing it out. Airplane plus will drop large garbage with a value of 245. Just an airplane drops garbage on you? An airplane will drop medium trash. Let's get this airplane going, because we require an air force, of course. 5 yellow shards. We aren't going to get that anytime soon. Never mind. Alright, we have just achieved rock throw plus, so now we can throw crap even farther away from the rock. So, behold, look, our rock is throwing maybe even further than it would be advantageous for the trash to be thrown. So this is why, well, eventually we'll probably need to do this. Oh my god, everything is broken down again. We will put down another catapult there, though. Although eventually, we won't even need catapults, because the rock itself will just catapult everything away, which is incredible to observe. But look at it go. It's my favorite thing to do. Oh no, but it's not even going to the compressor anymore. I guess we won't do any further, but I wanted to demo it because it is kind of cool to watch. Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, we are just getting to carry level 7, and another building is blown up. Oh well. Oh wait, no, it didn't. Well, it did blow up, but, well, maybe even better, we got another rock to mine, so that's good. So we have more space for buildings. But yeah, our peons are better. They're doing great. We got room in our housing. Might want to upgrade some more of that. Oh, it looks like that we can even get a helipad and a helicopter. We need a little bit more money for a helicopter, but soon we can get an airplane, which is kind of crazy. And that will... I don't even know what this does anymore. Helicopters will periodically drop trash. 20 per worker. Trash produce 1 per worker. I guess it's like a bigger version of the factory or something. Let's just put one down. I've seen it take off, although... observing it is a little bit crazy. So people get inside of the helipad, the helicopter takes off, and then I guess it just flies around dropping trash on people. That doesn't sound like a good thing. I wouldn't pay taxpayer money for that, but, well, you do you. I will still put another compressor over there, I think. I got these all messed up now, though. Whatever. I mean, we're about to hit the limit, so we'll have everything destroyed in a moment. Let's just kind of experiment with stuff. We've got that. Oh my, all of the buildings to construct do become dizzying at this point. It's like, what are we even creating? Who even knows? Alright, we have unlocked Helicopter Plus, Plane, and Airplane Plus. So now, who knows what's going to happen here? This is an airplane. Will drop large garbage with a value of 245. So there it is. Oh, so this is the crap that it's throwing down, and these are each worth 245. That's a lot of money. Now, does it do anything to the clouds? I'm not quite sure, but when it gets over the hole... Oh, we're about to make a lot of money, man. All that plain garbage. Wow. I feel so lucky. This is so strange. Anyway, yeah, like, there's enough different little systems going on, and to me this seems to be what makes each clicker game a little bit different. Like, why isn't there just one good clicker game, you might sometimes ask? Well, each one is adding in unique different systems that, like, interacts with everything else in a unique and interesting way. I don't know, I mean, I just enjoy them. Oh my gosh, look at that helicopter just going ham on this place. That's terrible. Why would they do that? What is this? What are we producing here, man? Alright, let's start to put some money into some upgrades. It looks like we're about to prestige again, or whatever you want to call it. I want to see what other kind of cool late game upgrades I can get, if there's anything interesting. Oh, I have reduced the cost of peons immensely here. Hooray for me, because the peons were getting extremely expensive. Clone all peons every 5 minutes to work for 30 seconds. That's incredible. I can just clone them all once every 5 minutes? That's a ridiculous ability. I will absolutely take that. Well, now make it cheaper to have them in. And then let's clone them all. Oh my gosh, this is so satisfying. Look at how many more of them there are. Oh, I love it. I really do. I love it so much. Oh no, I accidentally bought more farther levels, but whatever. At this point, is a catapult even necessary? You may ask. Let's see if we can start to raise that home storage. Oh, but we are about to explode with pleasure. Oh, it's only 200 more trash. Oh, I guess that the clones are gone now. Well, it was fun having them here while they were around. We've got carry 8 max. We've got to go again. It's just that you never run out of things to do in this game, man. It's been... How long have I been playing? Over an hour already. And everything is pretty good. Earthquake. Alright, now there is an upgrade that we can get so that the buildings aren't destroyed, but I like it when the buildings are destroyed. It's kind of fun to watch. And wow. Wow. Alright, I've just zoomed ahead to a future version of my colony/city that I've built, and we've got a few new powers now. We've even unlocked the ability to reset all of our other abilities, which is pretty crazy, so I'm going to clone everyone, do a bulldozer and give everyone bliss, and just, it goes into kind of hyperdrive right here. And we are even producing piles of trash among our pieces of trash. Just holy cow, look at all of that. There isn't even enough for everybody to be carrying everything. It's just crazy is the only way to describe it, really. But yeah, we are building out more. We are actually getting closer to the edge here. I am as far as I can go on the scroll limit. I don't know what I get to here. Maybe this is the last place with some sort of secret reward. Anyway, I don't want to take away everything, but I'll probably zoom ahead again in a couple more seconds because we have... actually, I've reduced the price of peons considerably. I've just tried to bring it down as much as I can because they do get extremely expensive at the top level. And hopefully at the end of all of this, I am going to unlock whatever this upgrade is, which I had 3 preliminary upgrades, but $99,999 each trash thrown in the hole increases the fill rate by 100%. I don't know what that does, but I'm kind of curious and I want to find out. Among all of these, we've actually had clouds combine into the largest type of cloud. I thought these were the biggest. Well, just you wait. These are even bigger. I just want to zoom on this. It's become unbearable to look at. Look, we have a catapult that automatically sucks in trash because there's just so much being created from mining the rock. One rock created all of this, but it is a sight to behold. We have just gone clone overdrive mode, and we've got all these people throwing away all of the trash. It's incredible. Look at all of that. It's crazy. And we have just created a trash minigun over our catapults and cannons, which is the greatest achievement, maybe, of them all. Look, there it goes, shooting out even more trash maybe than before. I think it looks about, yep, there, well, it is impressive nonetheless. And folks, we have done it. We have just achieved whatever the 999,999 thing was, and that seems like a great place. Each trash thrown into the hole increases the fill rate by 100%. Oh, I guess that means that we get twice as much fill rate per trash, so then each one counts as 2, I suppose, if that seems correct. Well, I guess that's not as exciting as I thought it would be, but I mean, it was exciting to spend $99,999. Let's just randomly unlock +1 to trash to cloud output. Oh, actually make clouds useful? That sounds more fun. Oh, these are great. So you actually get RP for clouds. +2 to manual click power. Oh, particle strength. Particles now hit 1 more cloud. This is amazing. Okay, making clouds useful. Well, I feel way better about this. I felt terrible about my clouds before. Amazing. So, oh my gosh, these clouds are so much better than the clouds from before. So, all right, everything can be improved. Everything can be, like, a little bit interacted with, it seems. And, oh, dear God, what have I done? I don't even think we're quite at the end here. But, well, I don't really want to give up the ending because, I mean, this is sort of like a let's try type of video. And, you know, I wouldn't do that to you because, well, I love you. I love you very much. And I hope we can always be together. Anyway, this has been Fill Up the Hole, and I think it is a very interesting clicker/colony management/simulator/automation game/what is it? Whatever it is quite satisfying, and I think it's very much worth checking out. Let me know if you want to see any more games like this, and I suppose that's about it. I hope you found something more that you enjoy from watching these videos, and as always, I'm Ambiguous Amphibian, and until next time.